I was sitting in the kitchen and I was like, Lord, what am I gonna do? I have all of these responsibilities, all of this going on, and it seems like I'm doing everything I can for you, and everything is just going opposite. Anybody ever been there where it seems like you were doing all you knew to do, and still you took 2 steps forward and you took 5 steps back, and you're saying, God, what in the world is going on? And I was sitting in my kitchen and I didn't understand it. And then these words came. I said, Lord, you are good. You've been so good. Lord, you are good. You've been better than good. I can't.
Welcome to the Better for Today podcast show.
I can understand.
What is going on, people? Let us know you in the building. As you can see, we is representing the Knicks. That's right. We're going to celebrate them while they up. 2-0. C, stop hating. And get you. Go put on your closet Knick gear. Keisha, go get him. Tell him put his closet Knick gear on. Like I said, let us know you are in the building. Tonight's a good show. This is going to be off the cuff, not off the cuff. This is going to be from our experience. She don't even know what we're talking about. Did I send you anything?
No, I don't know. I didn't look.
I don't think I sent you nothing. Because it was from a conversation you and I had.
Okay.
That hey, Keish, go get C. Make sure he got on his Knick gear. We don't want him here without his Knick gear. So my wife and I had a conversation, and this is what the show is about. Let me switch gears and do some disclaimers. Just one today. And that is, it was said how God said it? God gives his hardest battles to his strongest warriors. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something. You don't know how strong you are until that storm pops up. Mm-hmm. And a storm that might seem small to you will buckle somebody. So you got to really be a little bit more compassionate when it comes to people in regards to what they're going through. And as far as being strong, we're all strong. It's just based off what you're going through. How does expression go? You never know how strong you are until strong is all you can be. So
that's a saying? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's better than me using the Cody fingers like, I'm not as intellectual as you are. Hey, what's going on, DeVal? He's right here. He get a pass because it's his. You should have gave him some Knick briefs. But I'm glad he's here.
Oh, yeah.
Because I gave him my disclaimer. I want to give a shout out to Pastor X. Today marks his 12 years being home, free. I don't know how many years CB been home. But see, I put something together for you. That's right, Val, the Knicks, son. Put something together for you for your birthday. I hope you enjoy it. It's old school. It's the music that you got made on. Monty was playing this music when they was making you. It's hot, though. I like it. Carmen likes it, so she likes it. I'm good. But you got to listen to the words. Let me find it. Oh, here it goes. See, Bonnick, you know what it is, man. You was my first son. If ain't nobody else ever told you they was proud of you, man, I'm proud of you. When you thought it was over, I had some heavy hitters praying, son. Some heavy hitters. And them doors open up, man. You're doing a great job. We look forward to you having many, many more birthdays, man. I love you, kid. That's word. With everything.
Love my baby brother.
I'm hungry, man. Give me a second. I didn't eat today. So what the show is about is, I don't know why this is up here like that. Gotta finish.
I see.
Is the bag. Me and my wife was talking about the bag. Everybody talking about securing the bag. This, that, and the third with the bag. So we did a wedding on Saturday. And it got me to thinking, Saturday. Got me to thinking about this bag thing. And how it ties into family. And one of the things that popped up is how the bag starts when we're talking about a family. What up, G Money? You know it, son. Nick Nation, baby. You're gonna ride this. Boston better watch out. And so it got me to thinking about like the how the whole dating thing goes about and this, that, and the third. And I was wondering, like, at what point, like, do you say to this person, like, prior to having sex, hey, you know, I really like you, it's getting serious. Comes over here on the phone.
I am texting a
She's
potential client.
Like, when do he loving that? I knew he was, son. I knew he would like it, Keish, because, man, it took me about 20 minutes to find that song. I was looking like, man, what is a good song for this dude? Because he's got a million pitches. So I said, this is the one right here. The one I was going to play, that dude would have called me a fairy. I wouldn't have cared. He's good for doing that. So yeah, so you're dating, right? You and the chick is dating. You and the dude is dating, and the topic comes up. Hey, you know, we getting serious, right? So to me, this is where the bag starts at. We getting serious. Prior to having sex, be you a male or female, you gotta protect the bag. That means you can't rely on the other person to wear protection if you guys are gonna have sex. Why is that? C said, good looking, big bro. Truly appreciate and I love you more. That's what's up. You know how we do. There can be, how can I say this? Things happen. And not only are you trying to avoid getting pregnant for my chicks out there, but I'm talking about these transmitted diseases.
It's like as though they forgot that they've even existed.
You know, the amount of...
I just don't understand or comprehend anybody going raw with anybody. I
So you're
just...
saying we need to buy protection?
Our husband and wife.
Oh, you're talking about them. So yeah, it's to me, and we have a show on Sundays called Sunday Night Vibes. There's a guy that comes on, and he really reiterates this. You have got to protect your bag.
So meaning the bag is
the bag is you.
The seed.
The bag is you. You're the bag.
You're the bag. Okay.
You can't get nothing if you don't protect yourself. And so many of us, well, not so many of us, but a lot of us are out there willy-nilly like nothing gonna happen. And so we had a discussion last week, a week before last, in regards to the chick, if she gets pregnant, the guy has an obligation. You gotta think way ahead of that. You gotta protect yourself. You can't think that this guy, I don't care how much he told you he loved you, that when you get pregnant, he's supposed to fulfill his role as a father, as a provider, you cannot do that.
Right.
You cannot do that. And when it doesn't happen, you fall all to pieces because you didn't protect the bag.
True.
Let's. Hey, what's up, Rima? Hey, let's get past that point and talk about these transmitted diseases.
Right.
There are people with, and I wish I'd have had the paperwork, but I pulled this up. They said there are 40% of Americans walking around who do not know they're carrying infectious diseases.
Wow.
Their body won't allow it to affect them, but they can give it to somebody.
That's disgusting.
They don't know they got it. There's nothing happening to tell them, I'm sick, I need to go get checked out. I think they call them carriers. Like you don't have any signs of this disease and you give it to somebody. Now, of course, we can fault that person, but they didn't know they had it. But if you protect yourself, hey, Wanda, what's up, Poochie? If mommy made me off that song, she was bugging, you dig? That's when she was Miss Izzy, see? She was Liz then. If you protect yourself, these are things you do not have to worry about. And later on in life, you don't have this responsibility that you got to take care of because you protected yourself. We got to understand the bag is not the money, it's you. You got to protect yourself. And this is the beginning of the family. This is the beginning of, I guess, setting standards for yourself so that just say the relationship goes left, you ain't stuck with something.
Do you say stuck when it comes to giving birth?
If
to a
this
child,
dude,
bringing life?
hey Mima, it depends on how the person who gave birth looks at it.
Yeah, I mean, the terms may not have been right, but you're still bringing forth life.
I understand that. But it depends, to me, I could be wrong, how the person views it. Because this nigga left me, I got this bird, so and so and so and so.
Well, I mean,
I think it's all in the view. But if you protect yourself, Poochie says, correct, a lot of people had the COVID virus, no symptoms, and was given to people. That's why we had to wear masks. You gotta protect yourself.
At all costs.
I don't care how much you love that dude, how much you love that chick, how much plans y'all made. Protect yourself. Protect yourself. All right. That's one way of securing the bag. The next way is, this is prior to even starting a family, you have to bring your own to the table.
When you say that, what do you mean?
All right. I didn't bring my own to the table when me and you were together. I didn't even have a plate. What I'm saying is, you need to be in a financial situation that if that thing goes left, you can take care of yourself.
Are we talking about in a committed?
No, you're not married yet.
Okay.
You're not married yet. You guys are dating. Y'all having sex. You done compromised the bag already.
Okay.
And now it's getting to a place where, hey, let's move in together. But you're not married. And now all of a sudden, he goes left. And you can't financially take care of that place. So you move. What I'm saying is be able to move somewhere where you can take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Is that making sense? If it's not making sense, say something.
It makes a lot of sense.
Oh, that's your mom.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Ma Banks, what's going on? All right. Yeah, just you need to be able to be in a position where you can take care of yourself. I mean, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're very right.
Because you don't want to have to be in a situation where now you're going to really find out who your friends are.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with being able, calling somebody and say, hey, I'm in a bind, whatever. Mm-hmm. But secure your bag. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't burn bridges.
No.
Because of this dude or this chick. You get into relationships and all of a sudden, you done cut your friends off.
Yeah, but these young girls I'm seeing, they're getting pregnant, and I'm saying as soon as they tell the person that they're pregnant, the dude is bouncing, and it's like,
That's why you protect yourself. You don't wait for him to agree to nothing. And this is me. Hey, my grounds, this is me. I would tell him or tell her, hey, I'm using protection.
but are they even having?
I'm not talking about what they're doing. We're talking about securing the bag.
Yeah.
So what they're doing and what we're trying to convey is two different things. It's just two different things. Protect yourself and tell him or her, hey, I'm using protection. If he bounces, so be it. You can't give up your independency based on how you feel.
But why would somebody leave if I say that I'm protecting myself?
I don't know.
It's just.
What I would like for you to do is take your mind and sit it over there. Because listen to what I'm saying. You're thinking in terms of if it was you.
It was me.
I ain't tell you not to wear protection. You wear protection?
Yeah.
It didn't work.
It didn't.
So we should have sued them. Why didn't you think of that? That protection was leaky.
It was a leaky. It was.
So then listening to that, that's not even 100%. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's
I had protection on, but if you look at it now in our position, back then, was it?
Maybe two wound up what?
It wasn't. AIDS wasn't big then. And I mean, condoms have been, but
it wasn't as pronounced.
it was not pronounced.
It was out there.
It was out there, yeah. But
it wasn't pronounced.
No.
It wasn't where it was made scary how they made it like, hey, AIDS, it was like that.
But
VD was all that other stuff was out there.
It was out there.
Yeah.
It was out there. I don't know. We didn't use protection.
You should have used it. I used some duct tape.
I had.
Man, according to your dad, duct tape works on everything.
You're gonna leave him alone.
So based on what my wife said, it's not 100% secure, but it's a measure. Use every measure you can to protect your independency, because the chances of, and I'm talking to the, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I don't think it has anything to do with independence. I think it has to do with we creating these little lives with people that really don't know nothing about their background. So here you got somebody who's probably a narcissist.
What does that? Whoa, what does that mean?
Meaning he's got mental issues.
We all do.
Okay, but he's got some heavy baggage in his DNA, and now you're procreating with someone, and now you created a mini him or her.
But that's not always the case. That person doesn't always have mental issues.
No, what I'm saying is we're not doing enough investigating. We're going based off of physical attraction and having having intercourse and knowing that having intercourse will create a child. Okay, so, but you have no background on this person. You know nothing about them.
That's why you need to protect yourself.
But that's what I'm saying. It has nothing.
That person could be, his background could be great. Come on, her background could be great. But something about when you get into a relationship, things get exposed. It's. Some people don't want to be a father. Some people don't want a family. Some people don't want to be a mother. But as the woman, and we talked about this with Rima and X, you got to be extra cautious, because you're going to be stuck with the brunt of the responsibility. It's not fair.
Right.
It's not fair. Don't get me. It's not fair. But reality is, you're going to get stuck with the responsibility of raising that kid. That's just how it is. Is it fair? Like I said, no, it's not.
No.
So do whatever you can within your power
To protect
yourself.
Yeah.
Now, when I say lose your independency, I'm not saying losing who you are. I'm saying now you can't go like you want to because you have a child to take care of. And bitterness and all them other things may creep up because this dude is not around. And you see him hanging out and all that, and you can get a little bit pissed off about that. Because this dude ain't taking care of responsibility that you thought that he should take care of. But, like, here's a for instance. You get pregnant, and the dude says, I don't want to have that baby. And we had this discussion.
Right.
What do? You understand what I'm saying? I mean, it's yeah, me always maybe. Yeah, it's. I mean, you don't want to have an abortion, and I don't condone that at all. But what do you do? Because early in the pregnancy, he just told you, I don't want to have nothing to do with that kid. How do you handle that?
Well,
that could have been avoided. Not necessarily, like you said, it's not 100% protection, but at least you put the effort to prevent that from happening. You understand what I'm saying? To put you in a position where you're relying on somebody, and you, like you said, you haven't done the research to really determine whether or not this dude is suitable.
Right, to procreate with, right.
And like I said, 100% of the time, the chick is gonna get stuck with that baby.
I just hate the word stuck.
I don't know. You come up with another word we'll use it. But and the crazy part about this now is everything that you got to have a real supportive family to continue pursuing your goals, because if you don't, your family is going to be the ones that's going to carry that baby with you.
So then that's why there was an order that you're supposed to procreate with your spouse, so that there are two.
We're talking about the reality of what's going on out
okay,
here.
But I just said that that's why there's an order. If you go out of order, then anything can happen.
I mean, you could be in order and they still leave.
Meaning in a marriage.
In a marriage, that's correct.
That's crazy.
That's life. It's the reality of life. Protect yourself. Now, when you get into a marriage and that happens, that's really messed up. I think that is really messed up. You know what I'm saying? But I just was talking to a gentleman today, and you know, when these babies get involved, I don't think you have a right to leave until them babies get older. But if the relationship is going sour, what do you do?
Well, it takes two. I mean,
let's just deal with what I just said.
Okay, yeah. But I mean, are you going to work at it? If the relationship is going sour, then you need to get counseling. Am I stressing you?
Yeah, because you're not.
Unstress yourself.
I said the relationship is going sour. Okay, both of them are on the outs. And you got, what's up, Naya? And you got babies.
Okay.
That baby's going to get stuck with the lady. It's very rare that the man takes the baby. Now, this is no discredit to men, because some men are out there raising their kids.
Oh, some men have gone
That's
and
correct.
taken their boys and their children.
It's reverse.
Definitely.
The chick is
right, wilding,
ratchet, as people say. But 90% of the time, the baby goes with the mother.
Right.
And now you have this burden. I won't say burden, but you have a responsibility that, as married couples, it was being split, and now it's all on you.
Right.
And that now trickles over to your family, because your family becomes the major support that you didn't need for that. And now you have to rely on them. You know what I'm saying? Babysitting is ridiculous right now. I mean, the cost of babysitting, and then you don't know who you put these kids with.
True.
This is all about protecting the bag. Protecting the bag. So boom, okay. Y'all decide to have sex, you use protection. All right. Now the relationship just keep going. And y'all decide, hey, we're going to get married. Okay. Protecting the bag. Go to counseling, please.
Yeah.
Children lives through all of their emotions. Okay, Mark Grimes. So,
meaning,
I understand what she means.
Okay.
We just married a couple, and our biggest draw was they went to premarital counseling.
Right. They went to couples they went individually.
Right, absolutely. They went to premarital counseling, and they were able to iron out a lot of stuff that married couples don't get into until they get married. They got it figured out over here. And as I told them, and I'll tell you guys, it's work, but stop looking at it like it's a job.
And I think they said they've been in counseling for 3 years.
3 years they've been in counseling.
Right.
Before they got married.
Right.
3 years. And they're going to continue.
Yeah.
Because as I told them, the heat just got turned up.
Oh, yeah.
In counseling, you're going to find some things out that just sitting here at the kitchen table, you're not going to find out. This is all about protection of you finding out if this is the right fit. You know, and then sometimes you still don't find things out until you move in. Now, I don't know what to tell nobody in regards to moving in. We moved in, we weren't married. We got married when we moved in after a while. I don't have advice in that area.
Yeah, we did everything backwards.
The law for me is the word of God. The Lord says you should be married before you cohabitate. But there's a lot of people who don't do that. I know a guy that's been with his girl 29 years. And he ain't planning on getting married. It's working for them. They're successful. So I don't really have any advice, but I can just tell you what the law says, and that's you should be married before you move in. Now, once you move in, the bag becomes a thing you need to be concerned about. So we started off terrible. We're just now recovering the bag. We're getting all our bills paid and all. So this is something you have to talk about with your mate. Yes. You have to talk about finances. Number one, where are we going?
Have the hard discussion.
Where we going?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, we're married. We got married because we liked each other. Okay, that's about to die.
I was going to say, and?
That's about to get old. What are we doing? What are we striving for?
What are we striving for?
What's the target?
Right.
Okay, this is the target. How are we going to get there?
Yeah.
You know, these are all things that we did not do. And we're in our 60s just now ironing stuff out.
Yeah.
I mean, just now ironing stuff out. And don't wait. How can I say this? If your mate is not, say it correctly, agreeing to what should happen financially, you set the tone.
Correct.
This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing because I got to secure the bag. I got to make sure that there's something in the kitty for, people say for a rainy day. I changed that. For a sunny day. We got to wait for a rainy day to spend our money. How about for a sunny day?
Yeah.
Like, hey, save it for a rainy day. Who made that up? I'm not waiting for it to rain. No. Because we can't go nowhere. It's raining.
Well, we can. We like walking
in the rain. Walk in the rain. Just trying to, my wife spurred this conversation on. And just trying to give people, young people in particular, maybe older people, before you lay down with somebody, protect yourself.
Yeah, wipe your eyes of all the lust
that
you have in your eyes looking at that person.
If you got it like that, keep that joint in your bag.
Really have this, conversations. How do you pay your bills?
That stuff. This is the stuff they'll talk about in counseling.
You know,
If
do
y'all
you
don't talk
owe
about that,
anybody?
if y'all don't talk about that,
You have any outside debt?
if you don't talk about that one-on-one,
Yeah, you
Then,
got any
you know,
payday loans?
involve another person. And so these conversations can be had because they're going to come up.
Yeah.
You can sit there and think it's not.
Oh yeah.
It's going to come up.
Mhm.
You moving with somebody, rent, power, gas, water.
And it ain't putting $5 on it, and maybe next month pay another $5.
Hey,
No.
like Carmen said, before y'all move in, who do you owe?
Right. Because now we're accumulating each other's debt.
Because as soon as you say I do,
Oh, you
that
did.
debt becomes yours.
That's right.
Like Mima said, what's your credit score?
Yeah.
What's your credit score?
Mhm.
How many student loans you owe?
Right.
So that can become a target.
Yeah.
Okay, let's knock this out.
Right.
But you got to make a decision prior to you get married if you want to take on that debt.
Mhm.
How are we attacking this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now you have decided what y'all gonna do financially. Y'all rolling. All right. So now you're securing the bag. Now that your bills is all where they need to be, find you somewhere to invest.
Yeah.
You cannot rely on a paycheck. And we talk about that often.
Yeah.
There's got to be another stream of income to supplement the regular paycheck.
Yeah.
And like I said, we're in us, and we're just working on this stuff. You know what I mean? And it can be I don't want to use the word stressful. For me, I get remorseful a lot over the waste. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it, but
Right.
the money that's been wasted, the time that's been wasted, but I'm grateful that I've been allowed to be here this long to now take what I know and share it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And hopefully somebody can grab a hold of it and go, yeah, that makes sense.
Mhm.
Instead of ending up in a situation where you got 4 kids and you by yourself.
You got 4 kids. Everybody got Jordans. You got all this blingy stuff, but you're into your eyeballs in debt. You own nothing.
How come people who got and I don't know their situation, how do you have 2 pets? You got 4 kids and 2 pets.
2 pets.
How do you afford the pets?
I don't know, because their food is expensive.
You gotta do something, dog. I'm just saying you.
And then you talk about you're broke. You can't afford to do other stuff. You can't afford life insurance. You can't afford,
we're about to get into that one right there.
Basic stuff.
We're about to get into that one right there.
And if you honestly assess your spending, you assess what's coming in and what's going out.
Budget.
Man.
Budget. If you don't have the money, don't put it on your credit card.
Mm-mm.
Don't put it on your credit card. So, okay, we good. We investing.
Right.
Okay. Now let's secure the other bag. Death.
Yeah.
People say, oh, I don't want to talk about it. Nobody gets out of this alive. Nobody has come back and said, man, it's banging over there.
There's no escaping it.
You can't, that is the escape.
No, but I'm saying there's no escaping.
You can't get around it.
Death is inevitable.
You can't get around it. So if you're in the family and you're starting a family, let's just say you have a kid now, you want to make sure that if something happens to you,
right,
this kid is taken care of. Don't just go get you a little $10,000 policy. Just enough to bury you. I don't even know if that's enough anymore.
I don't know.
They have these life insurances called IUL, and my wife knows a lot more about it than I do.
Oh, independent universal life insurance, which has life and death benefits.
Right, you can access this policy while you're alive. Right. If you get a terminal disease, this policy pays you a bunch of money, doesn't it?
A bulk. It'll pay.
Yeah, I just looked.
Did you see that?
Somebody that wants to listen to you.
Okay. And it also, you can use it as a savings, essentially. You can borrow off of it without any penalties, and it grows even if the stocks drop. You don't lose any money. Your money will continue to gain interest. Interest? I think I'm right. Yes. And it's a great, I told my mother today that how good I feel to know that we have an IUL. We set our daughter up for her retirement.
That's correct.
So that when she becomes of retirement age, she has money that's going to take care of her.
It's actually, as we talked about another stream of income, that's what that is.
Right. You can borrow off of it. We're going to do it for our grandsons. And so that when they become of age and they want to purchase property, land, whatever, they have money to borrow off of that
Right.
as a down payment on whatever they want. They can use it to go to school, to pay for school if that's what they choose.
What I like as well is after a certain amount of years, it sends you a check every year, almost like a retirement check.
Right. Once you get to a certain age,
right.
Then you can get yearly, and you can direct it how you wish.
What's right.
Yeah, if you want monthly payments off of it, but you can put into it. I think you can set an amount, and then you can add more into it as you want. But you essentially could retire a millionaire off of an IUL. So it's a great benefit.
If you want more information on that, contact me or my wife, and we'll be able to direct you guys in the right direction. But especially like if you're in your 30s right now, it's ideal.
Oh, definitely.
It's ideas. 20s, even better.
Yeah.
And if you got kids, put a policy on them.
And if you're our age, you could take it, but you could just, to play catch up, you got to dump.
You got to dump some bread in.
You got to dump like maybe $1,500 plus a month.
A month. That's correct.
To get your weight up so that when you get into your 70s.
That's correct.
Yeah, then you can get that, and that's your retirement.
And these are just ways and methods. If there's someone out there that have different ways and methods that they want to share, come on. I'll put the link up. But,
and then not only you get these dividends, you get this money, you still got death benefits.
Then you still got the death benefits.
So then you have the benefit so that your family can bury you and they get something. And
that's one of the things that we as African Americans are not taught, and that's leaving legacy behind, the bag. Some people, and I've heard this numerous times, man, I'm just going to leave enough to bury me. That's very selfish. That's extremely, extremely selfish, where you can literally, your death can put your family in another hemisphere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A $500,000, $600,000 policy. Set them right. Or you have positioned them to be set right. What they do with the bread is on them. But you've done your part in helping them. That's in your death.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So do what you have to do to protect your interests. In a marriage, it's kind of hard because this guy said I do, this chick said I do, and all of a sudden they wake up and don't like you no more. There's nothing you can do about that. Nothing you can do with it. It's very hard to prepare for something like that.
I think that's where the counseling comes in, because you liked them before. What happened?
I'm not the one to disagree with you, but some people just wake up and don't like the person no more. It's just how it is.
Okay.
You can't prepare for it.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because it's a blind side. But
I think that sometimes it's also what was in your ear. What did you hear? What did you see to make you I mean, I could agree. What?
It don't have to be none of that, Combs.
Oh, okay.
I just don't want to do this no more.
Is that what you're saying?
Who? Listen, if I didn't want to do it, I'd have been gone. I'd have been gone. I really like you.
I
You
really
know.
like you too.
And don't try to say that because we're on live. But there are people who, you know, after a certain amount of years, they just don't want to do this no more. You know. Now I'm not saying for you to prepare for that, because that I don't know if that's wise counsel, but you know, if it happens, I don't know. I don't know what you're supposed to do, because it's just, you know, catastrophic in so many areas.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because now you got to do everything by yourself. And for my women out there, learn to do things on your own. I understand it's great to have this dude taking care of you, but you got to learn to do some things like pay bills. If you have to change a tire, if you got to learn these things, because if this guy goes away and your bread ain't right,
yeah, you stuck.
you're gonna have to figure out how to do some of these things that, you know. There's no such thing now as a woman's role as a man's role. That, I mean, I believe in the kingdom of God, there are, like you said, what'd you call it? You call it something. There are positions.
Okay.
That you should, you know, but what I know, she knows.
Yeah.
What she knows, I don't know. And that's just how it is.
What the?
That's just how it is. Yeah, there should be no, like, there may be some things that, you know, you may have to learn, but overall, you got an idea
Right.
of how this works.
Right.
So that when something happens, you ain't stuck there. Like, what do I do?
Yeah.
So the main thesis, no.
Synopsis.
That's a good one. We just want you to be aware, if you're not involved with somebody, some of the steps that you need to take before you get involved with somebody, and stick to your guns.
Yeah, create a standard.
Don't let the sweet talk fool you.
Oh.
Mima said divorce or separation is like a death. There is a period of grieving. Only problem is the person is still around and you may run into them. It's the worst kind of grief, Mima. To grieve somebody that you see walking over there with somebody else.
So are you grieving the separation, or are you grieving that person is now with someone who you develop some traits in there, in that person? You felt like you poured so much into that person and it didn't work, but they were over there and that other person is reaping the benefits of what you cultivated.
I'm glad you asked.
Oh, God.
Because I've done a lot of research on that.
Oh, you did a lot of reading?
Yeah. So
Okay.
number one, the grief is initiated at the breakup.
Okay.
Because there was more of an investment on one part than the other.
Say that again.
There was more of an investment by one party than the other.
Okay.
You didn't see it going that way. Even if there were signs, you didn't see it going that way. I'm going to make this work. I'm going to make this work. I'm going to make this work. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it, but it causes, this is the next step. So now the person leaves, you know, and you find out this person may have a baby, this, that, and the third. It's a compound now. Now you feel almost like I've been used. So now you got another grief because I let this dude use me. So that partners with what's that emotion? I forgot the name of it, but it partners with another emotion, and depression comes right around the corner because, man, I put so much. This is not just for men. This is for women as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, not just a woman and a man leaves when a woman leaves a man.
Mm-hmm.
So now you fighting this stuff and nobody has ever taught you how to deal with it. And then you go out one day and see this dude with another chick and he's doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
How do you deal with that? You got to go talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Because your emotions will make you do something.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you, it'll boil and boil and boil. Next thing you know, you're behind them bars. I'm trying to tell you, your emotions will put you in a situation where you'll snap.
Yeah. Like that lady in Norfolk. Did she run him over a couple times?
They don't necessarily have to be with anyone else. One party just decided they didn't want to be married anymore, and you didn't even realize there was a problem because your partner was living a lie. Let me say about being Carmen. If my wife decides to leave me, I'd be hurt. But I've put myself in a position where I've done the best that I can do by her, and maybe it's time for her to move on to something else. This is not something that I hope doesn't happen, but if it does, you got to realize that you've done your best. You got to realize, and I'm not saying it's not going to hurt. Yeah, it's going to hurt because you feel. We got a friend. I ain't gonna get that. Danielle might be on. He was like, she ain't going. You mad.
You mad.
But you got to put yourself in a position, and it's hard, especially when you really care about somebody, to go, this may end. And I'm not saying for you to sit around going, well, what am I going to do?
Yeah, to worry about them down. You're an I Spy and detective, and then you're extra clingy.
It can end.
And then you overdoing stuff, trying to make that person happy, and you're making yourself miserable.
My prayer probably, I'll say about 4 times a week, is that I make it back home. And when I make it back home, Carmen is still here. It's just my prayer.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? I remember a situation when we were in New Jersey and Carmen got really, really sick. Really, really sick. And, you know, the doctor was like, there's nothing. I'm like, what? I never asked God to heal her. I asked him to help me deal with the situation. This is what we got to start requesting, because there's no way you could have been prepared for it. So now, Lord, I need you. I need you to help me with this. You know, me and my wife talk often, and we probably getting off subject, but whatever. How some people pray for healing, but because we don't know everything that needs to be healed, what we're praying for may have gotten healed, but something else may have escalated. And so now that person dies, and we think our prayer wasn't answered. You don't know.
You don't know because you don't know that you were asking for the right thing.
You know what I'm saying? And the scripture tells us Holy Spirit intercedes for things we don't know. We gotta really, for those who don't know Christ, please find you a connection, man. And then for those who do, understand that there are processes that you have to go through in order for, you know, things to manifest. Now, we know who's the prince out down here in this world, so he's in control. We gotta be cool with whatever happens.
Yeah.
I said that during the marriage. Raise your levels of acceptance.
Yes.
And understand it had nothing to do with you. Absolutely nothing to do with you. And you got to be cool with it. I told her, I'm going to get me some goldfish. And when they die, down the toilet. Going back to the pet store. Give me 2 more of those.
Goldfish.
Goldfish. What's in the what?
I don't know.
What in the owl? Oh, this is the picture from Sarita's thing.
Oh, because I was turning my head as she was doing the panoramic.
Oh, you look like a monster.
I do.
So yeah, peoples, we're gonna be short tonight because playoffs is on. If the Knicks was on, we wouldn't be talking.
Oh no, he wasn't gonna be talking.
But number one, set you some standards. Set you some standards. Number two, if the person you're with does not want to abide by those standards, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I was gonna say, that ain't your
Stop
person.
looking for it to get better.
Right.
They already done told you from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Number three, prior to having sex, maybe you need to talk about if a baby pops up.
Right. Like, what is the plan? What is
If a
the
baby
plan?
pops.
If we're gonna get involved,
The air just came on. It's 9 o'clock. Oh, it's loose. Go ahead, I'm listening.
no, if we're gonna get involved, being intimate with one another, we can't just do this, because the ultimate thing that happens when you have sex, a baby could be created. So
Yes.
if you don't want responsibilities, y'all really, I don't even know if these people are talking.
I think it's something that should be talked about.
I don't think that they're really having real conversations.
I think it should be talked about because, okay, now that when it happens, we've talked about it, and sometimes they don't stick to that.
Yeah.
So be careful out there, man. Be careful out there. Do as much as you can to protect you.
Yes.
Nobody else is responsible for that job but you.
That's right.
If you don't do nothing else, protect you. Protect you. Some people consider other people's feelings more important than their own. You tripping. You matter. You matter. And don't find out later on that person that you thought was going to be there for you decides that's not what I want to do. Because you have a responsibility to protect yourself. And I'm talking about mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and financially. It is your responsibility, and you have to be serious about it because nobody else is going to be serious about it. I mean, I didn't become serious until I, fell in love with God to really understand what my role is, number one, and then number two, what my role was towards my wife. You know what I'm saying? Some people, man, it's like their wives can't tell them nothing. I used to be like that. I was turning my head while she was, I used to be like that. But I learned that my wife sees things I don't see.
Right.
She has a right to correct me. My things were so deep seated, it went so far back as to why I couldn't hear her. It's crazy. And you got to do some research, fam, to find out what's your triggers.
Right.
Why am I acting like that? Once again, you got to protect you. Right? So it's 8:56. Game comes on at 9. We'll be back on next week, still talking about family. We were supposed to talk about gender roles inside the family, how it has shifted to a new alphabet.
Pick an alphabet.
Ain't the alphabets I was raised on.
Yeah.
But anyway, man, thank you guys for tuning in, man. We'll see you next Thursday if nothing happins. And
if the Knicks is on, he's not going to be.
If the Knicks playing, y'all might as well. It's a wrap. I ain't coming on. But yeah, man, protect yourself, man. Do what you got to do to protect yourself, man. It is the best investment you'll ever make.
Yeah.
Protecting yourself. There are so many people who are out here trying to use people. Don't be one of them.
Yeah.
Don't let your heart put you in a situation where now you like, man, I shouldn't have done that. Because love is one thing, but it don't last.
What do you mean?
You love this guy. You love this girl. So you don't see the flags. You don't see the flares.
You see them. You blur over them.
And then all of a sudden,
you think
you're in a situation
that you are the one who's going to change
you
them.
can't.
You're delusional.
You can't fix them.
You can't. There's no.
You can't.
It has to be a supernatural intervention. I'm talking Holy Spirit come down, slap him upside his head.
And that's like I was talking to El. I said to him, you got to look at your wife like a luxury car. See what we're talking about. Luxury cars don't have commercials. You don't see a Rolls Royce commercial.
Oh, okay.
You don't see a Bentley commercial.
Oh, okay. You're talking about the higher end.
The higher end cars.
Okay.
When you go to put gas in those cars, you can't put regular gas in those cars.
Right.
Everything about that vehicle is elite.
Right.
It has to go back to Rolls Royce.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
That's where you go with your wife. You go back to the maker.
Right.
But if you don't have a relationship,
You don't have it.
you're going to rely.
Yeah.
And this is crazy, but there's some things inside of you that won't come out until you get to a relationship.
Very true.
And now it becomes your mode of operation.
Hmm.
And people say, "Oh, I'm not going to be like so and so." You end up being just like what you said you weren't going to be like.
It's true.
8:59. She's pushing me. All right, y'all. Be good. We'll see y'all next week. That's Carmen. I'm Al. It's better for the day. Peace.
Peace.